is so profane, Dana, and rude.
These match, anything goes!
Well, aren't we all living in a wonderful fantasy land?
Yes, we are living in a wonderful fantasy land of great pro wrestling. This is the best pro wrestling podcast. My name is Tommy Stryker. This is where we talk about the best pro wrestling in the world. We try to keep it positive, and we're going to try to keep it positive because there's a lot to talk about this week. Joining me is Taco.
What up?
And Joe.
Howdy.
And, between Great Balls of Fire, Raw, Smackdown was a thing this week. That happened.
Yeah, that
was
We're back to recording the show here on Tuesdays after Smackdown, after a holiday and a couple of weeks of recording on Wednesdays. And after this week's Smackdown, we're really thinking about possibly moving it to Wednesdays again because it almost felt like a bit of a waste of time sitting through Smackdown this week.
Smackdown hurt.
Yeah, but we'll get to Smackdown. Let's go old school and talk a little news first, if I can find the thing. It's been so long since I hit the news button.
We have quite a bit of news for you.
Three items kind of off the beaten path of pro wrestling news this week. Austin Aries got his release from WWE. A lot of people kind of upset at this. What were your thoughts on the Austin Aries release?
Upset, but understandable. You know, I mean, he wants to be in the main picture. He wants to be the main guy. He doesn't want to be the guy making the cruiserweights survive.
Right. He kind of hit that glass ceiling on the 205 Live, had his main event program, or not even a main event 205 program with Neville or whatever, but that was kind of as far as he was going to go in WWE. He had that nice, a short run down at NXT, kind of shortened by injury, but then he had the nice little.
But they put him run on 205 out. I don't know. He needs a. I guess he kind of has a reputation of being kind of a shithead in the back too. So
well, he has a very high opinion of himself, and rightfully so. The guy's great.
You gotta know your worth 100%. But I don't know, man. It's the WWE. Sometimes you just gotta wait it out. It's not overnight, and it could be fucking 5 years from now before something can happen.
Well, to me, I think it was it was kind of smart on his part too, because I think he probably did realize that he's gone about as far as he's going to go in WWE, and so he cashed in he cashed in his WWE run while he could, made some money there, and increased his name value.
He just released a book too, so he never officially said what he was doing.
Sure, and now he can make his own schedule and work that indie schedule, and he could go to Ring of Honor, he could go to GFW, God forbid, if that's what he wants to do.
Oh dear God.
But I said on Twitter when this was happening, everybody was butthurt about Austin Aries getting his release from WWE, but it was something that he wanted, something that he asked for, and I said everybody's grumpy about this. I'm over here sitting here excited for next year's Best of the Super Juniors tournament. So I mean, it's probably not where he's going to go, but you never know, especially with the increased presence of New Japan coming next year in the United States. The Ring of Honor thing, of course, that's kind of where he got not where he got his start necessarily, but a big part of his early career was in Ring of Honor. So he can work that indie schedule, work all over the world, and make probably just as good, if not better, of a living than he was making in WWE.
Well, now he can just put that WWE logo right next to his name on the flyer and get that extra dough.
Exactly.
Easy.
That's what I was saying a minute. He definitely increased his indie rate now, having a nice run in WWE. So good for him. That's what I say. Good for him. Not necessarily good for fans, but I think for me, I like seeing what Austin Aries does when he's not in that WWE box. There was something he was great like on commentary, and he'd be great in that role for any company. But wrestling wise, he still was Austin Aries, but I there was always something. I don't know. Yes, there was something missing when he was in WWE.
He's one of those guys I honestly thought never would be in WWE. He's a phenomenal talent, but we've heard Vince McMahon say it before. You don't have that it factor. He doesn't scream a WWE mainstream wrestler to me. Never has, never will. Even when he was champion in TNA back in the day, he doesn't feel like that top tier was like Eric Young winning the championship from him. It just felt odd, you know.
I know what you're saying. I'm a little higher on him than that.
I'm also on the Tommy side of this one, too.
He is a great talent. I'm not trying to take anything away from the guy.
Like, it sounds like he's trying to take everything.
I definitely would want him in fucking main event pictures with Samoa Joe and Roman. I would love to see him tearing up with them.
I thought he fit in definitely in the TNA as a top guy. Maybe not in WWE, but he could definitely hang in the IC.
More so, but like definitely in WWE wise, it's just, I don't know, it's so much harder on that program. There's more eyeballs on you. There's more button up collar, do what we say. Right.
Oh, and here's the other thing too, is if he was 5, 6, 7, 8 years younger, he would have more time to be patient and wait for a spot to open up or to work his way into a mid card, an IC, a US, possibly championship picture. But he's on the tail end of his career. He can I'm sure he just wants to do his own thing, set his own schedule, and make that indie money, because the indie money is there right now and it's good. So
and then I tweeted out, as long as the superstar is happy or the wrestler is happy, that's what it comes down to.
Exactly. All right. Other things in the news. Lio Rush signing a deal with NXT or to go to WWE in some form. I'm assuming NXT, possibly ending up at 205 Live.
He said he's only 22, 23?
Very young, and he's been really blowing up on the scene lately, obviously doing stuff in Ring of Honor, doing stuff for the UK, Evolve. He's been all over. He pretty much refused to sign an indie deal with any company, Evolve, Ring of Honor, things of that nature, because he was working on getting that NXT deal. So good for him that he got that, and hopefully we see good things from him at the NXT and 205 Live level. Again, we were just talking about Austin Aries, a smaller guy. Lio Rush, a really small guy.
Miniature.
So the glass ceiling, it might even be a little bit lower for a guy like that, but a great performer nonetheless. So looking forward to seeing him in WWE. And then finally, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I generally like to talk about things in a positive manner. We don't talk a lot of domestic violence on this show, but Alberto El Patron, Alberto Del Rio at the airport, having a little rough up session with Paige, I guess. Don't know.
All fucking coked up.
With that too. See, I didn't even click on any of these stories. I just saw the little things on it here and there. And not that I don't take this kind of thing seriously. I do. It's just that's so shitty.
It's sucks for both ends, but I'm kind of looking at the other aspect of honestly, GFW is doing really well right now. Fucking Jarrett's taking all the right measures. He's fucking trying to get sponsorships out there. He's working his fucking ass off for them. So
this is bad for him.
And they're putting fucking asses in the seats right now. They're actually doing some good attendance records. I heard Slammiversary was actually a good event. So it's like I do want to kind of try to backtrack and watch it event a little bit because I'm curious. I'm being so hopeful for this,
giving him the benefit
company.
of the doubt a little bit.
I want a year from now us being talking about fucking another fucking Global Force event. I want to hear more of these guys happening because honestly it's like TNA brought in a lot of these New Japan guys back in the day and. No attention in America at all.
Well, and they didn't treat them very well either.
Exactly.
What they did with Okada, what they did with Sonata, bad stuff.
But,
it's just bad.
Clearly,
what they did with the Young Bucks.
Clearly, they're at a point that they were, underneath the WWE, steps ahead of Ring of Honor even at one point, bringing in some names, just doing dumb shit. So it's like
they've had a lot of.
They have that freedom. They're going to have that freedom that Ring of Honor does to bring in Ricochet. Just throwing a name out there, but these guys that we want to maybe see in WWE, but. They're making their way here first. And
well, the bottom line is that this El Patron thing does not look good for them.
Exactly, and they just put the strap on him and everything, so it's really tough. And the fucking Rock's movie coming out.
There's a reason why WWE's let this guy go a couple of times now.
Oh, the fucking Rock's movie is coming out with Paige. It's just like here. Think.
Well, that's the thing. Paige was at Slammiversary under a mask, I guess, sitting in the front row, and then she's still under contract to WWE. This has been going on for a year now. We were talking about Paige getting out of WWE. This has been going on a long time.
So Fozzie's going on tour now.
Did you guys happen to watch that Kurt Angle 24?
Yes.
Fucking phenomenal. Watching that was it was like an hour-long special, fucking tremendous.
On the network.
I absolutely loved it. I kind of found it funny that, TNA changed its name to Global Force Wrestling, and a week later, Dixie Carter's on WWE programming. they're saying TNA, though, on there.
They avoided actually saying the letters, but they did put it up on the screen in a very light font. So.
Kurt Angle's story is so fucking interesting. Make that a fucking movie. There is a few points where I'm like, God damn, whoo.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking good story there, too, and I don't know, it's weird.
It is.
It sucks.
Is. All right, well, that's all the time. I don't want to spend any more time on look, I tried to watch the Global Force show, Impact, TNA, whatever, and I got maybe 20 half hour into it, and it's like it's the same.
Baby steps. They're going in the right direction.
It's still like, hey, look at us. We're like shitty WWE. We're just like them. Look at us over here.
People said fuck that owl, and they changed the whole company.
Yeah, but no, the owl is still on the introduction. It's still Anthem. It's still.
I would love to see a special edition of Table for Three with like Vince McMahon, Triple H, Xavier Woods, and the Usos at Del Rio's restaurant.
That makes one of us, I guess. I don't know. How does that even... What's the context here? I'm so confused.
Paige. They're all on the same page.
That is so profane, Dana, and rude.
All right,
let's... Del Rio was tweeting out, I'm going to whoop your ass here. I would love to see an episode of that.
All right.
There's breadsticks on this menu. Is it 1 or 2?
Let's talk Great Balls of Fire and Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw!
So yeah, Great Balls of Fire. That was a fun show. I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Let's before we get to the main event, let's talk the semi-main. Let's talk the ambulance match.
Yeah.
Okay. So the match itself kind of was what it was. Joe, I know you had some opinions on the.
Yeah, just enjoyed everything about it. It's just two big fucking dudes beating the shit out of each other.
Horses.
And then he's taking pot shots with chairs just with his elbow. I mean, that's still got to fucking sting just a little bit.
Yeah.
Taco, thoughts on the...
it was what it was.
It's an ambulance match.
To me, the match was the match. I love the GIF that somebody put out or whatever it is with the
Hanna-Barbera fucking Scooby-Doo noises.
Scooby-Doo noises of Roman Reigns going for the spear and ending up in the ambulance.
It was that was such a good spot though, because when they first announced the ambulance match, I was like, all right, let's do it. No, they made it entertaining. They made it a fucking beatdown, which we wanted, and just the fucking way it ended was just how else could you do that? Perfect. That was the only way to do that kind of match. Perfect.
And here's a strange thing to me. Okay, so they had the ambulance match. Braun wins because Roman slipped on a banana peel or whatever.
It was so good though.
They keep fighting. They keep brawling. Roman drives the ambulance into the back, backs it into the fucking semi with multiple camera angles, and you might as well have put in a movie score underneath the goddamn thing. The Jaws of Life, all that stuff comes
beautiful.
out. To me, it was just so goddamn obnoxious. To me, contrast that with the main event, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. I also commented on this on Twitter. To me, the ambulance match, all the shenanigans after the Jaws of Life, the ambulance, the multiple camera angle, theatrical presentation. To me, that was the sports entertainment, and the main event between Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe was the sport. Mm-hmm. That was the pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. So, two different aspects of it for me. But
they're keeping this far-fetched, crazy shit though within the Braun and Roman Reigns world, though. Ambulance being flipped fucking over, constant screaming at each other, fucking just nonstop. I'm fucking sick of fighting you, but here we are.
I'm not finished with you.
It's gotta be that way with these two guys.
I love how it takes them 20 minutes to get Braun out of the ambulance. Who is it? not Zack Ryder, but
Noble?
Heath Slater is out there having a match
with Kurt
Hawkins. They're trying to show the match. Eventually, they just give up on even showing the match. I think Heath won because he tweeted something about it on Twitter, like, "Hey, I won a match." So eventually, they just give up on showing the match because the jaws of life are so cool to Vince McMahon.
I like how they actually threw them out there, like, what? Like, taping up their wrists, like, I got a match? Like, holy shit. Like,
like, it was a surprise to even them. Like, oh, I guess we got to go out there.
Those are the two guys. They got on ready in case a match fails. I just want to point that out.
So Braun technically wins the match. He gets out of the ambulance. He's stumbling around, but he refuses medical attention.
Leave me alone.
Wasn't on Raw tonight, or on Monday, I should say. But it was Roman Reigns out there getting in Brock's face. That whole segment with Samoa Joe coming out. I mean, we're kind of bouncing all over the place here, but that's fine.
That's what we do. We're the best.
Yeah, and we talk when you're talking about the best, you just kind of go with what comes to your head, right? But what do you think about Roman losing the match, but coming out and wanting to challenge for the Universal title at SummerSlam? Fucking Joe coming out.
Brock Lesnar said it best.
Yep, that's right. Let me. There it is. There.
You actually think you deserve a shot at this? You don't deserve
shit, buddy.
Nice fill-in.
So yeah, it was a good throw in the soundbite there, Taco. But yeah, I like Joe was fucking coming out and just talking shit.
Well, aren't we all living in a wonderful fantasy land?
And Joe makes these great points. Fucking, I love the dynamic between Samoa Joe and fucking Brock Lesnar. How they fucking he just gets in his face.
Brock Lesnar was actually really great in this too.
Yeah.
Just watching him in the middle of the ring saying, "We ain't doing business in the ring. You know, we're making it to the back," and then Roman Reigns coming out. Go back and watch Lesnar. He's just like, fuck, you know, like, all right, and, Roman comes out, blah blah, big dog, and then Samoa Joe's music hits. Look at Brock Lesnar when that happens. He looks like bull fucking steam coming out of his nose, like it's fucking wartime. And like it was just so interesting, like to see him just like, oh, Roman Reigns, we're doing this. Joe comes, he's like, like fucking getting tense, stiffening up, like he's ready to go fucking to war with Samoa Joe. It's just like that's what I want to see out of these guys.
And I love the dynamic here going on too, because they're like. Fucking Lesnar telling Roman, "You don't deserve a shot," kind of plants the seed that that Lesnar doesn't want to fight Roman because he might be a little scared of Roman. But then when Samoa Joe comes out...
A couple months ago, though, didn't he say he wanted Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I don't know, but just getting to my point here on this particular segment. No, it's cool. It's cool because there's so much going on in this segment that would, like, psychology-wise. So when Joe comes out, fucking Heyman pipes up and he's all fucking scared, you know.
Hey, you need to listen to your advocate. He's protecting you from me. Because in his heart, deep down at the bottom of his soul, he knows I'm the one. I'm the man. Hey, you look at me when I'm talking to you, or we can straighten this out right now.
Best line of the promo.
Joe's just been fucking killing it, man.
He's the man that knows I got your number.
Boy, you about to piss me right off.
You're about to piss me right off. So yeah, so I just love the dynamic here with Heyman being intimidated for Lesnar, but the Samoa Joe thing, and then a little bit of Lesnar being kind of intimidated by Roman Reigns, but also the reality factor of him just saying, "Fuck you, dude! You don't deserve a title shot."
I didn't get that at all from Lesnar being intimidated by Reigns.
What was the vibe that you got? Just fuck you.
That you fucking lost your match. What the fuck you doing in the ring?
Sure,
like
sure.
He just went to war with Samoa Joe, and like Samoa Joe was like, "No, you escaped me, bitch." Like, I brought it to you, and just like watching the body language Brock Lesnar did in that ring. Seriously, go back and watch it. Like, when he's dealing with Lesnar, he's just loose, whatever. Like, what the fuck you doing here? Like, we ain't doing this shit. Joe's music hits. He fucking tenses up.
Right.
He's ready to go to fucking war.
You're right. I loved it. The line that when Samoa Joe was saying, you escaped me. And he's like, yeah, I escaped. Lesnar like agreed with him. But yeah, I still fucking hit you with the F5. Let's talk about the match, because some people were critical about the match. What did you guys think? A little bit short of a match? Did you think it should have went longer? What was your thoughts?
I thought it went the length that I thought these two would go. It wasn't going to be this, 30-minute barn burner between these two. Brock's not going to go that long. Joe maybe, but Brock is not. The only thing I can complain about, I didn't like the sudden finish. I like it because I got to Raw. I saw it and you escaped me. They're setting up, they're keeping it going, and I like that. But I just didn't like that aspect when watching it live.
To me, the sudden finish felt like, yeah, we got a few more minutes planned, but Brock tells Samoa Joe, fuck this, we're going to home right now. And so he just hits the F5. Like, I'm sweaty, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm out of breath, we're going home.
I absolutely loved it. I know that was a big problem with everyone was the finish of it, and I just absolutely loved it because it was just a straight-up ass-whooping from Samoa Joe from start to finish.
Yeah,
it was, yeah.
Could not even fucking finish his intro before Samoa Joe, as a smart man, fucking, being all over the beast, that Brock Lesnar is. So, Samoa Joe did everything he fucking needed to do, fucking threw him through the table, just beat the shit out of each other for a while. And I absolutely love to see the fucking F5 out of nowhere for the win. Like, we don't see it enough where a finisher is a finisher.
Sure.
I know that's the biggest complaint out there, too. It's like, we see fucking too many people kick out of the finishers. They did it in this situation, but it was just, it just shows you, because Brock Lesnar is the fucking top guy. He beat The Undertaker. He fucking destroys people. He's a monster. He, kill in a sense. That's just who he is. So for him to throw an F5 on someone, even if it is Samoa Joe, and pin him like that, awesome. Because that just makes Samoa Joe even more pissed off. Like, fuck, got one on me. Like, he did everything he needed to do. He got in his fucking head, fucking even got one up on him in the match, and still just one fucking F5 stopped it.
And Samoa Joe is the heel in this whole thing. Remember that? Kind of plays into it too, but not a ton. I love how we've got a lot of gray areas happening in this whole, all three of these guys, really.
Right.
A lot of people were saying because of what the Roman thing versus Braun, that felt very heelish, fucking trying to murder a guy in an ambulance, even though technically, like you brought it up earlier, fucking Braun Strowman flipped the ambulance with Roman in it. So,
that's at least assault.
Right. So, Roman kind of getting a touch of revenge by, slamming an ambulance backwards into a semi.
There was actually someone made a petition out there to get Roman Reigns on attempted murder.
Yeah, I did see that. That was a nice touch there. Let's talk some other stuff from Great Balls of Fire. Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt got the win with the Sister Abigail. After the thumb to the eye, I was really bored with this match. Yeah. It was. I did not fast forward to it, but it definitely felt like one of those. We had the follow-up on Monday, the rematch.
Didn't watch it.
So for Taco, it was definitely some of this. We really do need to come up with a new fast-forward soundbite. I was thinking maybe the Stephanie McMahon music.
It's like Titus redeemed himself.
Yeah,
man.
Well, now that he's not wrestling so much and is just doing the
advocating. You just wait. He'll make that one mistake, and we're right back to pushing that button.
But yeah, let us know if you've got an idea for a new fast-forward sounder. But what was I saying? Oh, so they had the rematch on Monday, and it was the same result where Rollins goes for his Rainmaker knee, and Wyatt counters it with the headbutt to that same eye or whatever that he was selling. Gets the Sister Abigail again, but then it was Miz coming out afterwards and attacking him with the Miz Taraj. We had the Ambrose thing with the Miz TV segment from earlier in the night at Raw, where of course Miz was talking shit about fucking.
That's a fast forward music right there. Dean Ambrose's music.
Wow, it's gotten to that point to you with Dean Ambrose,
and fucking Miz feud. Miz is entertaining, at least.
Yeah. Well,
there's nothing left. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep on the pay-per-view right at the beginning of this match.
The IC match or the opening match of the show?
The IC match.
All right, we'll get to the IC match. We'll get to what's going on between Miz and all that.
And Rollins.
Obviously, it looks like Rollins is moving into the Miz picture now with everything that happened on Raw.
But she just lost twice.
He lost twice to Sister Abigail, and Miz is coming off of that hot Ambrose program. So moving on. Enzo got his ass kicked by Big Cass with the big boot after dominating the whole thing. That was pretty much what we expected. I was kind of hoping for a shorter match, considering we had an Iron Man tag match on the show and everything. Why am I even talking about this match? Let's talk about the Iron Man tag. Okay, go ahead.
The fucking music of Cass's. It's like I want to like it,
yeah,
but it's like it's trying to figure itself out still.
I'm not, exactly. I'm like, okay, this
way
is
to describe it.
I'm like, this is something. This is, and then it changes, and
it's like, what's fucking good music comes in. You're like, all right,
it's like the DJ stops the record, then it starts up again. It's like, what's happening here? So,
big ass,
big ass when he's standing in front of it.
They gotta think the shit through.
What was it? I saw the other one where it was Sasha Banks, but then it said "eat balls."
Yeah. Yeah.
So Hardys versus The Bar for the tag team titles. 30-minute Iron Man match. Good match. I enjoyed it.
Man.
Exactly what we were thinking that these two teams were going to give us. I mean, they would just beat the hell out of each other again.
Yeah, the Hardys fucking being, the legacy tag team, the legendary tag team, the old guys. Really brought it in this match.
I love the first fall,
That's
too.
what I was about to say. I absolutely love that they brought that out, too, because it's just like fucking WrestleMania when Sheamus won with that. So I love that's just like a fucking boom, whip that weapon out real quick, get this first pinfall.
It's kind of like what you were just talking about with the F5. You can hit it out of nowhere, hit that brogue kick 1, 2, 3, and we're moving on.
It's just a fucking serious maneuver. We need to be scared of these fucking moves. We need to be enthralled when they're hit. Not like, ooh, that was cute.
Yeah. So we had the follow up on Monday Night Raw. The Hardys go out there and they're teasing a little bit of the broken gimmick here.
And we failed again to reclaim the Raw Tag Team Championships. And we know what the tag teams in the back are thinking. The Hardy Boys are done. The nostalgia pop has passed. And maybe we should just fade away and classify ourselves as obsolete.
Obsolete.
And fucking doing the broken stuff a little bit.
We're a little stitched up, a little bruised, and somewhat broken.
We had Anderson and Gallows coming out. Joe, I know you like what Anderson is doing now with his.
That was actually Taco.
Oh, was that Taco?
I mean, but both of us really love it. But I can't even. I was supposed to look up the character too, but he's doing the laugh of his character from Southpaw Regional Wrestling. See, you got it down. You nailed it.
Nice. So we had the match between Anderson and Gallows and the Hardys, and the fucking Anderson and Gallows won out of nowhere.
Good.
So
awesome.
we got some elevation of some tag teams here in the tag division. So
it's a smart move. I mean, you've got a bunch of tag teams that they just need some solid wins. We need to break the Hardys somehow. Every team needs to just beat the shit out of the Hardys.
All right, let's talk the women's match from Great Balls of Fire. Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. Sasha Banks win with a countout, so the continuation of this story. Mm-hmm. But, wow, I really enjoyed this match.
I enjoyed Alexa Bliss, especially in this match.
A lot of physicality. Coming off of that NXT women's match between Asuka and
Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix. Nikki Cross. But coming off of that, I mean, that was kind of they really set a bar in WWE for women's matches this year.
Fuck yeah!
And I thought, I mean, I don't want to say that this was right up there with it, but I think it was. It was
even for a SmackDown championship match. I mean, again, we're still
or
only.
Raw.
Oh, yeah. Fuck! It's been a long time since I failed that bad.
It's close. Go ahead.
Good
job, John.
It's gone.
Flash of the Titus!
I'm with you, man. Like, fucking, it was a good match, and fucking a lot of these matches that are like stick out from non-NXT women's roster, though, Sasha Banks is usually involved with them. Like, she just hits a good stride with these ladies, man.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking so good to see. And, for being a count-out championship match, I was not mad at it whatsoever. It was fucking the right time, right way to fucking do it all. And
yeah, I wasn't. That was the thing is even with it being like a bullshit count-out thing, I was like, I want to see more from these two.
Right,
so
it just
I was
fucking made you want to boo Bliss more, and it fucking made you want to cheer Sasha. It was perfect.
Yeah,
man.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That fucking spot, though, off the table is like... That girl's going to ruin her fucking knees, man. Like, she needs to slow down these hot spots, please.
Ah, come on, she doesn't weigh nothing.
All right, so we had the tag team rematch on Monday Night Raw with all the women. It was the rematch from last week because remember Sasha or Bayley got knocked out by Nia Jax and brought to the back. So Bayley got a little bit of that heat back this week on Raw by getting the pin on Alexa Bliss with the schoolgirl. So we got a little bit more elevation out of Bayley this week on Monday Night Raw.
A little bit more aggression out of Bayley. She was using the ropes and stuff. I actually haven't seen her even think about it. I think she snapmared Nia Jax on top of the ropes, and I just don't see her do that kind of stuff.
That was one thing that kind of stood out to me in this match, not necessarily from the pay-per-view, but in this tag match, it kind of felt like Bayley and Sasha were just doing heel shit the whole time. And I'm like that's not fair. You're not being nice to Nia and Bliss. Like, why the fuck do I care about Nia and Bliss all of a sudden? So maybe that was just me, but you're right. No, more aggressive, and I think maybe that's what they were going for in that match. What about the Angle storyline going on now? We're finally going to get some answers, it sounds like, next week. We had the thing where Corey Graves confronts him in the back. They both, quote, got the same text. And, at first Angle is all worried. He's like, oh, what if this is going to affect my family? Are they going to support me? Am I going to lose my job? Is this the end of my career? And Corey Graves is like, it'll be fine. The WWE universe loves you. Everybody loves you. Everything's going to be fine. Then at the end of the show, after all the shenanigans were over, he's having a phone call with somebody that he loves, and he is inviting them, whoever this is, to come to Raw, and they're gonna divulge this information together next week. So
I think is going to be the ultimate loophole. And Kurt Angle rekindled some fire, and he's back together with Karen Jarrett.
Well, Dixie Carter apparently is doing stuff for WWE now, too. So that could be something.
God, I hope not.
That would be, how bad would that be? How bad would that be? Bring Bully Ray back so he can put her through a table again.
Could you imagine the fucking booze out of that fucking building, though? Oh, man.
Well, I don't think it's going to be something. I mean, I guess it could be. But, I mean, obviously, Angle is married and children and all of that.
She was good on screen as a heel.
Don't go there.
She was neat on screen as a heel.
All right. Anything else? I'm trying to figure out. Finn Balor beating Elias Samson, or is it Samson?
What about him not being on a fucking pay-per-view? What the fuck?
Let's get Balor back into, some good stuff.
They did nothing with him leading up. They didn't. I don't understand it. Top fucking seller in the fucking Raw, and you just fucking middle carding him, and not even that.
Well, and what is with the Hardys congratulating Balor after his match on Raw? Where's that going? I mean, I guess they teamed up a couple of weeks ago in a 6-man deal. Are we going back to more 6-mans? What are we doing with Balor here?
I know a lot of people are mad about him kind of feuding with Elias Samson. I am not, to be honest.
At least he's getting
that
wins.
Doesn't bother me at all, honestly.
Well, Elias Samson has a good fucking future. He has a good fucking look. He's in good shape. He's already fucking hated by the crowd. So, I'm looking forward to this guy. And I don't know, him starting a little feud and not looking half bad against Finn Balor is fucking awesome.
Goldust finally beat R-Truth. Taka, would you?
Goldust is back.
You're supposed to say that was neat.
That's neat.
It was okay.
It probably wasn't that neat anyway.
It was one of those long pause. Long pause neats.
I think we got her covered there.
Oh fuck! Big Show Cass.
Oh yeah, Big Show and Cass. Yes.
I actually like to see that because when Big Show started coming out, I was like, oh fucking duh. But
I was like, when is the Big Show coming? For Christ's sake, it took so long.
I'm still kind of just amazed at how the crowd is cheering so hard for the Big Show now when
there was
they
a
were
huge
chanting for
chant.
him to retire, years ago.
Finally, they're using him in the right way.
Exactly.
And Big Cass is a great heel. Or I shouldn't say a great heel, but he's got heel heat at this point.
It's a good
and
guy
I enjoyed
for him
the
to
promo.
fucking feud with. We get it. You and Enzo are broken up now. Fucking don't drag it out long because we know it's just going to be an ass whooping on Enzo for the longest fucking time. Big Show, it's good fucking veteran to work with there, but I like that Big Show was doing some new shit on Raw.
Yeah. That was awesome. And I like how Big Show, when he comes out, didn't say nothing, just beat the shit out of Big Cass.
Just fuck you.
Nope, exactly. The only thing that concerns me about Cass, and I'm sure this is what everybody is concerned about, is he still kind of has that deer in the headlights look, and he looks like he doesn't want to be a heel, to me. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
He looks exactly the same to me. I think that's just how he is and how he talks. Like, I can imagine him at Denny's like, I'll have the double. I want the pancakes with the eggs.
The moon's over my hammy.
Do you want white or wheat?
Right.
I want the wheat.
Change the subject. Smackdown Live.
Players, I'm going to make this a tag team match. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Does that come with sausage?
Smackdown Live was it was a bit of a tease this week. Quite the tease.
So moving on.
Well, AJ comes out and it makes it look like we're going to do the U.S. Open Challenge. Cena comes out to answer, are we doing this? Are we doing this? And the whole time I'm thinking there's no way they're going to do this because the announcers keep saying, oh my God, it looks like this might actually happen. This might happen. Oh my God, it might maybe just, maybe it'll happen. And of course it didn't happen. Kevin Owens came out and he says no. Rusev attacks Cena. Kevin Owens attacks AJ with the pop-up power bomb.
And then we Ambrose music all the way through SmackDown.
Pretty much. Because of course it was we're going to make it a tag.
I'm going to make this a tag team match.
And that was the main event. Cena and AJ did get the win with the AA over Kevin Owens in the match. It was a fine TV main event. Nothing.
That's what it was.
Nothing great. Nothing bad. It was just a TV match. Baby faces go over, but I like the dynamic between Cena and AJ that we're doing the slow build to that rematch
with more respect this time.
Yep, exactly. So that's kind of what I was hoping for the first time around. If you remember those podcasts.
The only thing that bugs me is I know that there won't be a U.S. Open Challenge if they do continue that at all for like 3-4 weeks now.
Well, and that's the thing that they probably are not ever going to do it. And to me, that just makes AJ look bad for, quote unquote, trying to start one.
That just made the whole fucking night look bad.
Yeah, I mean, well, so that happens. Then next they go to Jinder Mahal versus Ty Dillinger. Of course, Mahal wins. He whoops his ass. Ty Dillinger with a flurry of offense. He didn't get anything in.
30 seconds of power. He only needs 10.
Xavier Woods beat Jey Uso with a tightrope elbow drop.
I enjoyed this match
after ejecting all the non-players in the match. Yeah, I liked the match. So that one was fine.
I'm always happy with Xavier in the ring.
Yeah, it's nice. Yes, it's nice to get good in-ring action out of Xavier, and seeing that tightrope style top rope elbow off over the draped
Young Bucks did it.
Uso was a nice. It's a cool move. So. But then Shane making the 5-way women's match for Battleground. It feels like a rerun. We're doing another match with all the women in one match, and we got to wait 2 weeks till Battleground to do it, and then we got to wait till SummerSlam to get a women's title defense. Lana's in the match for no good reason at all.
And we had 3 title defenses against Lana.
Yeah.
And we can't get one on a pay-per-view?
We're being very, very sour.
Be sour.
Fuck WWE.
But they did another.
Fuck the revival.
They did another tag.
I'm going to make this a tag team match.
Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus Natalya and
No.
Tamina got the win with a super kick. Super kick.
Super kick.
Over Charlotte after the Lana distraction. So another distraction finish.
Distraction. Too many distractions.
Yeah.
I love Booker.
Here was a fun moment from the show. First Lady Maria is looking for Sami Zayn, and she is banging on the men's locker room door, and she says, "Where is Sami Zayn?"
Is Sami Zayn in there? He owes me an apology.
Sammy Wow Wow.
Who?
So she demands an apology from Sammy Wow. She tells Gable, "You have to tell him that he's got to find me and give me this apology." She walks away, and Gable sticks out his lower lip like a pouty little kid and just shakes his head. "No, I'm not going to do that." Gable was so good in that spot. And then we had the bit afterwards where Zayn is actually talking to them, saying, "You know what? I'm not going to apologize. I'm kind of tired of apologizing to you guys. What do you guys even do here? Are you a wrestler, Mike Bennett, or are you just the love and she's the fighter? You the lover and she's the fighter." Then of course she slaps him. Bennett smashes the vase of flowers over Sami Zayn's back, so it looks like we're going to get.
And Mia Joe proceeded to cheer very loudly for a vase being smacked in the back of Sami Zayn. Which like I said, I'm glad that's how it played out, because like the moment he walked up and there was a giant thing of flowers right next to him, I was like, "Oh, god damn it, he's gonna have a fucking sneezing fit and like sneeze all over her." Some fucking dumb shit.
And that's what I actually was happy about, that technically he was getting a little bit serious, albeit only a little, but like he was taking the situation a little bit more serious, so his neuroticism just kind of went down a little bit. It was still there.
Slightly, yeah.
But it was just like it was a serious moment that he has to take serious.
Now that'd be a good feud once it fucking starts.
Hopefully. I've never really been impressed with Mike Bennett, but Maria is kind of fun to watch, I guess. I don't know.
She's hypnotizing.
Runway Walker Texas Ranger.
Yes.
This was very fun. He's riding up on a toy horse. Fucking, there's Zack Ryder, and he has to hang up the horse on the ladder for him. This whole thing was great.
It's weird. Zack Ryder being a skit and he's the straight man.
Exactly. Fucking the lasso of truth. He tries to wrap the lasso of truth around Ryder. It doesn't work. He asks Tyler Breeze is like, "Ask me anything. Do you wear a bra under your disguises?" "Well, of course. I don't want to be like a smelly,
I'm not dirty hippie."
I was really hoping that they would do a callback to the lasso of truth again at the end of the segment and ask him something else embarrassing, or maybe he gets the lasso on somebody else and they have to say something truthful. So bring back the lasso of truth, please.
Oh, this needs to be a thing.
Definitely.
And we're going to get the Fashion X-Files next week.
Yeah, and I liked the kind of the tension between Mojo and Zack Ryder, and even the tension. There was some nice tension between just Mojo and the Fashion Police, kind of like, "Dude, we wouldn't do you guys like that, smash your office. We're above that," kind of a thing. Like Mojo just kind of being serious.
He was not hype like a bitch.
I like serious Mojo, and I am going to really enjoy heel Mojo, I think. So hopefully that's the direction.
Yeah, he needs to be douchebag frat boy. People hate that. It's just like, be that guy.
I'm still on the train we were talking about last week. I think Ryder's turning.
I'm hoping, man.
I don't know. I'm hoping for the Raleigh.
Because even he is very serious, chill, calm. He doesn't seem like the woo kid anymore.
Yeah, but I think he's over enough with the crowd, though. I don't think the crowd, unless he really turned on somebody that would create an emotional response from the crowd, I think the crowd tends to gravitate more towards Ryder. So anyway, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit of Ring of Honor. Not a ton, but I wanted to kind of go through a couple of things here from this week's Ring of Honor TV show. I want to go into more detail on Strong Honor on the Fans Podcast. I'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to record Strong Honor on Wednesday. Going to break down Ring of Honor. Not only that, but of course, we got the G1 Climax starting on Monday next week. I did fill out a full prediction. I'll go over that here. I'll talk about it a little bit on the show, but I'll definitely go over my prediction bracket and talk about how the G1 Climax works. fireworks, all of that on Strong Honor this week. So check that out if you want to hear more about that. So
G1 Climax.
Exactly. But Ring of Honor this week, the Motor City Machine Guns beat War Machine in the main event.
Wow.
So check that out. It was they used their move called Made in Detroit. It was a top rope blockbuster assisted power bomb.
Nice.
But a decent match, and I was not expecting to see the Machine Guns win. Now, the Motor City Machine Guns are going to be taking on the Young Bucks on July 29th at Queen City Excellence. This is another one of those Ring of Honor house shows that they record to put on their on-demand thing on their website. So I think you'll be able to buy the show at some point for $15. So it's kind of a downer thing. It's something that they do to sell those house shows that you can watch on their website, whereas it's not a major pay-per-view, but it gives value to those house shows and stuff like that. So probably not a title change, but something to pique the interest of not only the people going to the house show, but possibly people that might want to watch the show on demand. Matt Taven versus Ultimo Guerrero, one of Joe's favorites. That was on the show. Taven did get the win with a very unique. It was a very unique style DDT driver thing after a low blow, of course, behind the referee. But interesting stuff there.
Guerrero ain't gonna put up with that.
Then it was the opening match, Coast to Coast and Flip Gordon versus Dalton Castle and the Boys. This was a non-title match for the Ring of Honor six-man titles. Non-title, Dalton Castle and the Boys do get the win with the bangerang over LSG.
Gordon, actually, I think he's back doing military service, so he might be off TV for a little bit.
Interesting. He just kind of showed up in Ring of Honor.
I think it was an Instagram post. He was just saying that he was doing he's going to spend more time doing his military stuff because they've been so lenient and helpful for him pursuing his wrestling dreams and his career. So he's just like, I'm just going to backtrack, make up for some lost time, because I got, I dedicate myself to them too. So
interesting. Well, good for him.
So, let's see how this pans out for him a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I know he's been getting some appearances here and there on Being the Elite, the Young Bucks YouTube show. They've been kind of ribbing him on there and giving him super kicks. And
didn't they just throw him in the garbage can?
Yeah, exactly, yes. Gave him the Callisto treatment on the...
After they did the fucking Evolution.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Good show. Check it out.
Definitely. All right, yeah. Check out Strong Honor. I'll talk more about that, and I'll get into some New Japan stuff here in a little bit because we got to preview at least the first couple of nights of the G1. Because by the time we get to next week's podcast, we'll have a couple of New Japan shows to talk about.
I have my bracket filled out,
so we'll preview a couple of those here. But first, we got to get
caught up. Are we putting anything online? On the line for this bracket?
Well, I think we should do what we usually
do.
Loser
money.
Loser buys the beer with the money, and But before we get to the G1 talk, let's get caught up on our Cueto Cups and the Lucha Underground.
Change the subject.
So I got me this time. I wasn't ready for that.
Dude, because of this fucking show, I forget the homeboy's name right now, but I've been bumping his fucking music. And Metalachi, man, those guys fucking shred, dude.
Metalachi.
They rock.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, the guy, Metalachi hasn't been on the last couple of weeks, but yeah, I don't remember this guy's name, but whoever's been on the last couple of weeks on Lucha Underground has been pretty cool.
Sergio Arejo?
Arejo, yeah.
Fucking
Sergio
awesome,
Arejo.
man.
Yeah. All right, so previously on Lucha Underground, Dante Fox and Killshot drama back and forth. They had the distraction from Dante Fox that caused Killshot to lose in the tournament match last week. Rey Mysterio Jr. warns Prince Puma about getting too close to Vampiro. So these things going on throughout the show. Dante Fox has a flashback to Afghanistan, and Killshot's escape causes his captors to threaten his life if they can't find him. Fox does get rescued at the very last second before he gets executed by other soldiers, not Killshot. So then it was PJ Black versus Sexy Star. What group is this?
D.
This is Group D in the Cueto Cup.
Oh, give me that big old Group D.
Big old Group D.
PJ Black did get the win in big old Group D over the Sexy Star. It was
that Black D.
This was a DQ after Sexy gets caught with brass knuckles at one point. This is because Worldwide Underground comes out and throws PJ Black the brass knuckles. Sexy Star gets them away from him, but she gets caught with them, so PJ Black gets the win. Rey Mysterio Jr. and the Johnny Mundo continue to promote their upcoming match. They're doing these
Dario Cueto presents.
Yes, these long promos each week to promote this match that'll be coming up for the Lucha Underground champion. Rey Mysterio Jr. wants to bring the honor that Puma brought to the title. Mundo trains hard and says, "You're not born with rock hard abs." So then it was Son of Havoc versus Son of Madness. Son of Madness, the question marks in the bracket.
Ooh.
A lot of people had predicted the question marks Son of Madness, that is, maybe going a round or two because of the mystery of it. But it was, again, Son of Havoc getting the win with a schoolboy after a back-and-forth competitive match. Son of Madness kicks him in the face after and revokes his colors. So that was kind of the theme of the match, is that Son of Madness was here to revoke the colors, take away the vest, the motorcycle club gimmick from Son of Havoc in the match. So he accomplishes that after losing the match. Then it was Prince Puma versus Ricky Mandel.
The only match I got right.
Prince Puma did get the win with a very unique driver quickly. Ricky Mandel is the Johnny Mundo wannabe. He dresses like him, has the same glasses, wants to be part of the Worldwide Underground. I think he actually is.
Slam Town.
Yes, it says Slam Town. Take you to Slam Town, but he's not very good. He's just kind of the Worldwide Underground whipping
He's
boy.
like, I'm going to take you to Ham Town.
Right, exactly. El Dragon Azteca Jr. says he wants Rey Mysterio Jr. to beat Mundo so he can face him when he wins the Cueto Cup. Prince Puma says Rey Mysterio Jr. better beat Mundo because Puma wants his Ultima Lucha rematch, and this time he won't lose. So there's tension between Puma and El Dragon Azteca Jr. Rey Mysterio Jr. says just take it one match at a time, talking to El Dragon Azteca Jr. Then it was Dante Fox versus El Dragon Azteca Jr., and Dante Fox got the win with the Foxcatcher suplex after Worldwide Underground stuff. Top leg drop to the apron from Dante Fox. He has a taped up back from being thrown through the bleachers. El Dragon Azteca Jr. does. Rey Mysterio Jr. is at ringside for El Dragon Azteca, but he gets attacked by Mundo and Worldwide Underground. El Dragon Azteca Jr. dives onto the Worldwide Underground, but Dante Fox does get the win there. So as far as predictions go, I have 9 points to the first round of the tournament, being 1 point for each correct prediction. And I believe, Joe, you're
10.
Perfect 10, but Taco, you're in the lead.
12, motherfuckers.
So very interesting going forward here. Looks like I might be buying the beers if this trend continues. Again,
ooh, we got to keep up with the Lucha theme. Get some Modelo Especial.
Ooh, there you go. Exactly. Now you're talking. So again, in the finals, I've got Pentagon Dark and Prince Puma, and I got Puma winning the whole thing. Taco, who did you have?
Tejano and Cage taking the whole thing.
Right.
I got Pentagon Dark and Puma, but Pentagon Dark taking it.
Okay, so yeah, we've got some possibilities here. All right, let's change it up one more time.
Change the subject.
Talk a little bit of New Japan. Preview the first couple nights.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
We're going NXT.
Got to get the. We don't have to talk NXT this week because we talked NXT last week.
I was all like, did I fucking watch it? What happened?
But I will say we get Gargano this week, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, Gargano, and now that Morrow is on there, I'm just so excited for NXT every week, no matter what, because I just Mamma Mia! it's on Fuego! So I just really enjoy it.
You killed Kenny!
Oh my God, they killed Kenny! So anyway,
yeah, that's gonna be fucking great.
Now we can talk New Japan.
All right, so yeah, I had to take a drink of water for the Morrow impression there. So yeah, night 1 and 2, July 17th and 20th. So the 17th is next Monday, which makes the 20th Thursday. So we'll do a podcast before night 2. But get all your predictions in before Monday next week. And
have some fun.
And have some fun with it. I will say this. I'm going to go through a whole preview of the G1 Climax on Strong Honor, so definitely check that out. But
G1 Climax.
Yeah.
Got to play that since it's G1 Climax seasons. I did my first draft of my G1 Climax prediction. I'm probably going to stick with this, but what I did was as I went through chronologically as the matches happened and just predicted winners, and then as I got to the last couple of nights of the predictions, I ended up having to adjust some things because like one of the tiebreakers was going to have Michael Elgin winning, and I'm like, that's probably not going to happen. And there was another one that I had set up that was like, let me look at the very last night here. Because it was like, if I had a deal where it looked like, what was it? Basically, it was going to be, what the hell? Oh, yeah, it was like, it was the Michael Elgin thing. I had Michael Elgin in a position to where I think this is what it was. But basically, Okada and Omega wasn't going to matter if Michael Elgin won one more match or something like that. Or no, it was the other way. It was Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tetsuya Naito. That's the last A block match between those two. And so I think I had because that block has Kota Ibushi in it, so that's what it was. So I had Kota Ibushi.
It almost works better to work backwards on this.
It does, but it's so hard too, just because of the nature of it. But basically, the way I had when I originally went through, it was like Kota Ibushi had so many wins that Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tetsuya Naito didn't matter. So I figured that's probably not going to happen. There's probably going to be some stakes to that match. So I made some adjustments to my predictions and made it so that match mattered. But I do have in the finals in my first prediction, not sure if I'm going to keep this yet, but most likely will, and it's the story that they're telling right now, at least, coming out of G1 Special in USA, and what Kenny Omega has been talking about all year. I've got Omega versus Kota Ibushi for the finals of the G1 Climax right now. So
they were a tag team too in the past.
They tagged in DDT. They feuded in DDT and a couple other promotions. I think I'm not completely familiar with what they did over there, but nevertheless, let's talk about the first couple of nights of the tournament. Some highlight matches. So night 1, July 17th, again, next Monday. Should be available for you Monday night by the time you get home if you want to watch these on New Japan World. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. in the semi-main. Awesome match there. And then Kota Ibushi is going to take on Tetsuya Naito.
Nice.
God damn!
So that's a couple from night. Now, every night of the G1 Climax is going to feature 5 matches from each block. Or from, like for instance, night 1 is an A block night. Night 2, July 20th, is a B block night. And they go back and forth, so on and so forth. So 5 Climax matches each night of the show. Plus, they're going to have an undercard with tag matches featuring guys from the other blocks. So on night 1, the A block night, the undercard's going to be full of B block guys in tag matches, not to mention junior heavyweight guys and everybody else. So there's that.
Goto and Ishii on the first night too.
Goto and Ishii should be a good one too. So night 2, Sonata versus Evil. I highlighted this because it's 2 guys from Los Ingobernables. So this is just an interesting matchup here. And then
both capital letters.
Yes, indeed. And Kenny Omega versus Minoru Suzuki in the main event. Very interesting dynamic there because Kenny Omega just winning the IWGP United States title. In his post-match promo, he kind of talks some shit about the never openweight title, and that's held by Minoru Suzuki. So who do you put over in this one? So very interesting dynamic
Is ever bullshit is better?
There could be some bullshit there.
There could be some Bullet Club bullshit too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Whose bullshit is better?
So that's the first couple of nights. I don't want to get into too much more because it's okay.
You know who I'm kind of excited for?
Go ahead.
Toru Yano and Suzuki.
There's a lot of interesting Toru Yano matches.
So fucking ridiculous.
Toru Yano is in a block with Elgin, Okada, Omega, Tama Tonga, Sonata, Evil, Kojima, Juice Robinson, and Minoru Suzuki. What if? Let me go over my Yano predictions. I got Yano with only 2 wins. I got Yano getting an upset over Sonata, and I got Yano getting a win over Kojima. So
he upset some fools last year, though.
He did. I mean, there's a definite possibility he could get one on Suzuki. He's not going to get one on Okada. I don't think he's going to get one on Omega, but he could definitely get a Suzuki.
God, that'd be the best over Okada.
They could, but I highly with the push that they're giving Okada, I doubt it. I doubt it, but it could be because
who's going to be the one to pin him in this, though?
That's interesting because I've got in my predictions I have Okada with 1 loss, and that's to Omega. The same thing with Omega, 1 loss. I got his 1 loss to Michael Elgin. But if you book each guy with 2 losses, what do you do there? So who else beats Okada besides Omega? You could have Yano do it in a fluke. You could have Suzuki do it with a bunch of bullshit. So there's options there. Who else would Omega possibly lose to in the thing? I got Omega beating Suzuki, but you could certainly have Suzuki get the win there. So that'd be a possibility. The Yano thing there, again, I don't think they will, but they could. Elgin certainly could beat him, like I said. Sonata, maybe a dark horse here. I really like Sonata.
Fuck yeah,
and
man.
I really hope that he has a good run. I've got
Me gusta.
Yes, exactly. I've got Sonata with 1, 2, 3. I got Sonata with 5 wins, beating Elgin. Yep. I got him beating Tama Tonga. I got him beating Kojima, Juice, and I got him beating Suzuki. That's probably his biggest win in my predictions. So I'm going to go over the rest of my predictions on Strong Honor, so check that out on thefanspodcast.com. Anything else you guys wanted to get into G1 Climax-wise before next week, before the predictions? I'm so jacked up for this.
There's so many fun matches to look forward to. Like I said, little odd situations, and fuck, who's going to get the upsets? Like, God, it's just like, with Okada being it, there's got to be a major upset that's not in the fucking realm of, Omega or, like, God damn, I'm looking forward to this. We got some good wrestling ahead of us.
There's really I talked about the high possibility of Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega in the finals, but that's just one of so many possibilities. Okada could go all the way.
Naito's a favorite right now.
Naito is definitely a favorite to go all the way. Suzuki, not too much, but yeah, I mean, even Ibushi himself, you could make an argument for him, but I mean, a main event, Tokyo Dome. I feel like they still got to tell that. Ibushi, he's just coming back to New Japan, Like, he did the Tiger Mask W thing. Before that, he was away. He was doing the Cruiserweight Classic last year here in the United States. When he came back to New Japan, did the Tiger Mask W thing. I love that Kota Ibushi and New Japan are kayfabing the Tiger Mask W thing. There was like an interview or something. I saw a thing on Twitter where somebody asked Kota Ibushi about Tiger Mask W. And Kota Ibushi's like, yeah, he's a great wrestler. He even asked me for some advice on some moves once. and so I love that they're doing that. And part of it's true. The Kota Ibushi that played Tiger Mask W, yeah, he did a couple of Kota-style moves, Kota Ibushi moves, but it was different. It wasn't Kota Ibushi. So I'm excited to see the fucking hard-hitting, hard-kicking, fucking workhorse Kota Ibushi in this tournament.
Sure.
He's a possibility, but I feel like New Japan has to retell his story in this tournament, and him making it to the finals but not getting there is a big possibility. So I'm spoiling all of my Strong Honor speculation here on the podcast, but I'm cutting it off.
It's okay, it's the best.
I'm cutting it off right there. So, but one more thing I did want to mention before I'll let the music play, but so the first week of the tournament for the G1 Climax, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows. So it's really easy to fall behind on this thing. I'm going to do my best to stay caught up and keep everybody caught up on this podcast, on Strong Honor. So stay tuned to those, and we'll let you know what all the awesome matches are, what's skippable, all of that. So, and hopefully I did a pretty good job keeping up last year. So we'll see. I mean, my wife usually hates me by the time this thing is over with, so because I'm spending so much time with it. But nevertheless, like I said, check out Strong Honor. You can go to Best Pro Wrestling Podcast /Strong Honor and check it out there. Go to thefanspodcast.com and look for it there. for that. Follow me on Twitter at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. Follow this show at BPW Podcast, Facebook.com/Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. Email the show, bestprowrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. Taco, where can people find you?
They should definitely give us a 5-star review on iTunes. But you can follow me on Twitter at HGREV Taco.
And you can follow me at Joe BPWP. That's Joe at Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
That's absolutely right, Taco. Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. And do all of that, please, and thank you for checking out the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. Bye!
Peace.
Absolutely right.
Fact. G1 Climax. My botch. Loss in Gobernables de Japan.
G1 Climax.
I guess that's coming.